to open her mouth to say something, but the words fell away.
Welcome to CHW Studios. And today we are going to be recapping the movie Miller's Girl. The movie opens with Cairo's suite, a girl left to live alone in a Tennessee mansion. Writing became her escape. Donning a mini skirt and high socks, she traversed the woods on her way to her new school. Upon arriving, she met Jonathan Miller, the middle-aged English teacher who turned to teaching after failing as an author. Jonathan was almost like a father figure to Cairo given their age difference, though she secretly admired him and purposefully enrolled in his class. Since Cairo had arrived early, Jonathan asked her to start reading the syllabus material for the semester. He was surprised when she mentioned having already read the 12 required books. As they talked, Winnie, Jonathan's repeating student and Cairo's close friend, suddenly arrived and invited Cairo to eat with her. After the two girls left, curious Jonathan approached Cairo's desk to peruse the books she had been reading. Just then, his friend Boris arrived, grabbed a book Jonathan had been reading, and began teasingly reading aloud an explicit passage. Despite Jonathan's attempts to stop him, Boris persisted. One thing that caught Boris's attention was that the book was written by Jonathan himself. Jonathan was also surprised to learn Cairo had a copy of his book. Upon arriving home, Jonathan found his wife Beatrice busy on her laptop. He tried talking to her, but seeing that she was extremely busy, he called her directly and excitedly shared that one of his students had started voluntarily reading his book. While they were talking, her colleague Amy interrupted with a call. Afterward, Jonathan whispered erotic things in Beatrice's ear, and they drank together, becoming aroused. But just as they were about to become intimate, Amy called again, leaving Jonathan frustrated. The next day, he recounted the experience to his friend Boris, saying his weekend had not been good. Boris then teased him about it. While talking in the field, they spotted their friend Cairo emerging from the woods. The sexually frustrated Jonathan stared as she approached them. When asked if she wasn't afraid passing through the woods alone, Cairo quipped that she was likely the scariest thing in there, making Jonathan laugh. Later in the locker room, their classmate Winnie pretended to drop her things, aware that Boris was nearby. It was evident she was trying to get his attention because of a grade issue. Noticing this, Cairo told Winnie she had a lot of nerve. Winnie tries to give Cairo ideas for an essay, but Cairo thinks they seem too ordinary. Suddenly, Winnie suggests Cairo try charming teachers for essay material. Confused, Cairo points out the large age gap and questions the appropriateness. However, the flirtatious Winnie persists, insisting it's normal. She adds that Mr. Jonathan seems nice, so he'd be a gentle first experience without pain. Winnie continues influencing Cairo's curiosity about intimacy. She even notes noticing Jonathan's lingering glances at Cairo, making her fluttered and embarrassed. Over days, Cairo's curiosity about intimacy grew until she wanted to experience it. In class, Cairo gazed at Jonathan, and her desire was evident. Abruptly, Jonathan whispered for Cairo to visit his office after class. There, Jonathan chatted with Boris, inviting him to dinner with his wife. Boris agreed, and danced playfully before leaving. After Boris left, Jonathan mimicked his dance. When Cairo caught him, they laughed, then discussed Winnie's friendship and Cairo's living situation. They sat and Jonathan praised Cairo's writing, having memories in it. Cairo felt flattered and delighted by his attention. Jonathan wanted another story featuring Cairo's favorite author. Jonathan had promised Cairo that if she completed an assignment, he would exempt her from the midterm exam. When he gave her a topic, Cairo readily accepted. In the midst of their conversation, Cairo mentioned that she had read Jonathan's lesser-known book and enjoyed it, even quoting some passages. Jonathan was pleased that his book had gained attention and invited Cairo to meet that weekend to further discuss the short story. Later, Jonathan, Cairo, and Beatrice had dinner together at a bar. When their server, Winnie, came to take drink orders, Beatrice asked Jonathan if she was the student he had mentioned. Jonathan said no, but Beatrice appeared jealous as she complained to Jonathan, belittling his dreams in front of their friend Boris. That weekend, Cairo went to the meeting spot, and Jonathan surprised her from behind. As they talked, Jonathan remarked that they had been honing their literary skills together for a while. As Beatrice's pent-up frustrations with her husband surfaced, she walked out with a plan to divorce him. Meanwhile, Winnie confronted Cairo about the possibility of Jonathan losing the competition, but Cairo was unconcerned. She revealed that defeating Jonathan was her greatest achievement. One she proudly included in her college essay to get back at him for underestimating her. Cairo's essay depicted the potential fate awaiting Jonathan in his marriage, career, and relationship with Cairo. As she finished writing, the movie concluded, leaving Jonathan's future uncertain.